Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa, and today is Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll be doing a Woo Woo Wednesday later this evening, live with my buddy Public Awakening. But I wanted to come on earlier and talk about some breaking news. My buddy Litecoin Leader put a video out that Divvy Daddy gave him some information that it was trending on Twitter. A lot of people woke up this morning. They were Bank of America members and their bank accounts were empty. I can go through some of this with you guys. But then I want to go back through and show you a little timeline, how they really showed their hand that this is coming. And then there are some other banks watching as well, which I think is quite interesting.
Many Bank of America customers are taking to social media right now. They're reporting that they woke up to money missing from their accounts. Well, B of A just posted this message to their app saying that it's because Zelle transactions made between January 14th and January 17th may be delayed or not posted altogether. They add that they're working on fixing this problem and that transactions will be posted as soon as possible and appear in your account activity and balance. They apologize for the inconvenience, but all you have to do is search Bank of America on your social media feed and see that that is not enough for those people that are reporting, in some cases, negative bank accounts this morning. So
pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring...
Sorry, Mom just texted me to let me know that I was muted. This is the problem when I don't have somebody on with me. I apologize. So what I was saying was when she was giving were you able to hear the video of the news, the Fox girl? Could you hear the Fox interview where she was talking about the Bank of America, people finding their accounts negative and all that? I think you could hear that part because I just muted my microphone out here. Okay, thanks, Mom. So what I was saying is it's much more than that. And I'm going to show you somebody's account. Well, maybe I should do that first before I do this. There's somebody that scrolls through they locked their credit card. Maybe it's after this. They locked their credit card, but then they got notifications from their security thing that shows this is it. That shows I checked my spam email and oh my gosh, so glad my card is locked, but this is scary. So this is not just transactions that are not being processed. This person is showing that there's probably some kind of cyber warfare going on because they didn't make these transactions. So there were transactions being processed or attempted to be processed through this person's card after they locked their card. And then, of course, you see the statement by Bank of America that just says, oh, we just have, the transactions haven't been posted. Don't worry. So that led to, okay, then I said, wow, that's convenient timing. So this is the notice that they put out today and said, oh, but it's just that transactions made between January 14th and January 17th may be delayed and occurring and posted to accounts as requested. Transfers will be completed and will appear in your account activity and balances as soon as possible. We apologize for any delay. But then so that says between 14th and the 17th, right? On the 13th, they made this statement. Bank of America posted a $1.1 billion provision for credit losses, which I think is very telling that they make that statement on that date. And then this happens right after. And then we go into seeing what the WEFR has to say.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
So they're telling us exactly what's coming and how they're going to roll this out. I think it's very telling. There was also, I had one other piece of information. Their statements for, I'm going to have to change screens. Hold on one sec. Share this tab instead. So this is their Bank of America January earnings call highlights. The key highlight, the company's strategy produced more than 1 million new credit cards since the consecutive quarter of doing that. One of the primary goals of this company has been, hold on, let me make sure I'm not muted again. Did I mute myself? I think I'm good. Can you guys give me a 5x5 just to be sure? Sorry. It's hard when I'm doing this by myself. I think I'm okay. It's not blinking. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. And where's my page I'm sharing? Okay. Let me see if mom's texting me. I got to call my mom. I got to phone it in. Hi, CEM. Can you hear me okay? Okay. I got a confirmation from mom. Yes, of course. And this is what I've been talking about this for years. At first, I thought they were going to do it with Facebook. Remember, there was a Facebook attack a long, long time ago. Then more recently, there's been, Coinbase supposedly had a big leak with emails, all these different things. But yes, you got to go. Maybe we'll just remove this. Remove. Okay. So we had to get off of Twitch. They're just perverts over there. I don't understand that. Anyway, so then this was the highlights for their January earnings call. One of the primary goals of this company has been to drive operating leverage. I hope this helps you guys see this better. Our leverage liquidity portfolio declined in the quarter, reflecting the decrease in deposits and security levels. We paid out 1.8 common dividends. We bought back $1 billion. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's a lot. But let's get to the part where they said cautionary statements. Is that the one? Yeah. Net charge-off increased this quarter, but asset quality remains strong. Credit quality, you can see on appendix slide 28, consumer remains very high in new originations. Wealth management business, our advisors grew by 800 in the second half. Our team added 28,000 in net new households across Merrill and Private Bank in 2022. We experienced solid net flows. When combined across all investment platforms, our consumer wealth management business, we saw 125 billion of net client flows this year. Global treasury services business also grew revenue by 38% over a year. That's both rates as well as fees. We ended quarter 4 22 with 1.93 trillion in deposits. Across the quarter, we saw a 24 billion decline in total, down 2%. We have small declines in customers, continued higher levels of spending, pay down debt, also move money to their brokerage accounts, even in this business. Higher wages have offset this. The Fed increases have been rapid, and we'd expect to pay higher rates as we continue to move throughout the end of the interest rate cycle. So just remember, what we're paying more for in depositors, we also get that on our asset side. I think that's a significant statement. Our balance sheet declined 23 billion to 3.05 trillion, which I don't understand how that's a decline, but I don't understand how banking works. It's very confusing. Loans, blah, 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 blah. Negative statements. Our baseline scenario contemplates a mild recession. Come on, people. Long-term interest rates on mortgages have increased 3, 4, 5 basis points. It's obviously a historic period. It's difficult to forecast quarter to quarter. And it's ... Our models are just a lot more sensitive right now. So, I think we're just going to try and share with you what we know when we know it. But it's a little more difficult environment at this point to predict looking forward. I mean, this is a report for their stockholders and stuff. Like, this is like a disclosure thing. And they are it's like they're texting their girlfriend or something. Like, that sounds like you're avoiding telling me what you're supposed to be telling me. If you start talking to me like that, that sounds like, well, I kind of kissed her, but not really. I mean, that sounds so sketchy. 90 days past due have picked up just a little bit. 30 days past due have picked up just a little bit. And that may have something to do with, so I got an email out of the blue from a credit card that I have that I don't charge on, but I've been paying off consistently. And I've been a member with them since 2016. And I think it's very strange. Like, I know during the great gingivitis infection, they were shutting down a lot of people's credit. We got a couple of those right at the beginning, but this one's so out of the blue. And it makes me wonder if it's January. We know what's happening. The time is now. It's 2023. So I would anticipate that some of this stuff comes really fast. There's one other thing I want to show you guys. Yeah, Congress is going to hold some hearings. We'll see. They're all in their pocket. So that was one thing the SBF thing really showed, and I can show you statements from that. And that was I have lots of research from that. Well, before I get off on this tangent, let me stay on the Bank of America thing. So there's a posting. This is an old video, but you guys remember me showing you the ATMs.
Really quick. Has anybody else seen something like this?
These are the unmanned, unstaffed Bank of America.
Okay, and you get in here, and it's completely like no one's in here. And it has these two little rooms saying come in.
And I don't know, hopefully
chat.
that music doesn't get me in trouble. I'll turn the volume off. But this says personal banking, welcome. And then there's two rooms. There's 2 ITMs down at the end. And so she's like, this is so weird. There's 2 little rooms, but no one in them. And you use your card to let yourself into this little weird, unstaffed Bank of America. All day today, there's other videos of people coming in, lining up, going into Bank of America. There's lots of people complaining on social media and saying like they're calling in. They either can't get in or they can't get through on the line, or they are just like waiting on the, the terrible music or whatever. This is interesting. So apparently Bank of America was at the WEFR celebration that's going on right now. It says, for years, the philosophy of responsible growth is how we have defined to do business. This commitment guides every decision and ensures we're operating with the best interest of all stakeholders. That is not clients. That is not account holders. Stakeholders are people who own stake or stock in Bank of America. That is not account holders. This means, and this is why the warning, the bail-in is coming. If they are not solvent, they can take the account members' money. You signed all that little too small to read paper when you just needed a bank account and you went in and you trusted them because it's a bank and we live in America. And so sure, it should be safe. And isn't somebody looking out for us? And don't we trust the government? Well, you signed that away and put it into an account. You possibly did. Hopefully you're in a credit union or in a private bank. But if you're not, if you're in an investment bank, then you gave them your money to use to make their stakeholders whole. And that is their concern. And that's where they're held accountable by people like this guy, Gary Gensler. Let's see, that was the earnings statement. So then earlier today, I was doing some more research and back to, let's see, back to, I think it was Jim's comment about the crooked politicians. There's a statement out about how much the politicians got paid. Let's see. One out of every 3 members in Congress. So 196 in total. 196 congressmen and women. All due diligence experts with degrees in ethics took cash donations from SBF and FTX. So those people that said that they took their oath to protect the Constitution, their other hand apparently was out like this to SBF and FTX. And they, Gary Gensler would like anyone who has information, whistleblower of possible securities violations, or I might just link this tweet to it and send that in. Submit tips, complaints, referrals here. It's on an sec.gov website. You can make your own things there. And then this was ridiculous today. He said that he got to the SEC and he was so surprised that they don't have a copy of their best execution rule. They only have what's called FINRA, which is a self-regulating rule. And it's insane. So now he's like, we're going to have the standard, So he's had enough. And he went after, I don't know, somebody nobody's heard of this morning. Something, FTX is coming after everybody. They can't find his calendar. So Gary Gensler's calendar, which was supposed to be, I guess, public record, is now been taken down, which hides his meetings with people like Soros, and all the SBF meetings, all those kind of things. Here's his explain to me why the calendar is still missing for August, September, November, December. And then people say that Biden official hid information meetings with source Hillary Clinton, Nancy, and Gensler. So you've got all that tied together. This was interesting. I'm going to play this for you guys. Listen carefully about this.
The FTX case. When did the SEC get involved? They filed a lawsuit against FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried on behalf of 30 venture capitalists. So who are they protecting? They're protecting those VCs who risk money all the time as a part of their business model. They didn't file a case on behalf of the retail customer of FTX. And so they have completely abandoned the individual investor. They've abandoned accredited investor. You go back to when he was the chairman of the CFTC, MF Global happened under his watch. And what was his excuse? His excuse, Ray, was that he couldn't figure out how to access his work email from home. So I just want...
That seems like a familiar theme. Wasn't SBF unable to get his email working from home too?
People to think about this.
This is Gary Gensler who said that.
Yes, Gary Gensler testified at Congress, right, that when this was all happening, he couldn't access his email. Ray, he's considered a child prodigy, and he was considered, he was the youngest partner in the history of Goldman Sachs. The guy is a smart guy. Everybody says his problem is that he's always the smartest guy in the room, right? But this child prodigy, the youngest partner in the history of Goldman Sachs, couldn't figure out his work email. And that's why, blah, blah, blah. So you know that his integrity and his credibility are questionable at best. But let's just look at competency. Forget corruption. Competence. He's incompetent. All this has happened under his watch. He should go. In 2018, and it's on the Crypto Law website, there's a video of Gary Gensler while he was at MIT. And he states on stage in 2018, April 2018, that the crypto market needs clarity. Those are his words. He even said, Ray, that Ripple, the company Ripple and Ethereum deserve clarity and they need it. Now, that was 2018 when he was not chairman. We fast forward to today. He's chairman of the SEC and he can do something about it, right? And what is his position? His position is that it's always been crystal clear and that he's not going to create new rules. He's not going to change any laws or provide any more guidance, that the Howey case from 1946 and all the other things, case law, is enough clarity, and that these companies need to come in and register. He won't give guidance. So clearly, capital formation, let's ask this. In the BlockFi bankruptcy, Ray, do you know who the #2 largest creditor is?
I do not, John. Who is it?
It's the SEC.
Wow.
All right, because there was a $100 million settlement, remember, between BlockFi and Gary Gensler's SEC.
Yep.
BlockFi had paid 70 million of it. There's still 30 million owed to the SEC. So BlockFi's bankruptcy, our SEC is the second largest creditor that is above customer deposits. So how does that happen with capital formation? Are you helping companies capital formation when you're the second largest creditor in a bankruptcy? It's absurd. That's what I meant by corruption and incompetence, a combination. So there's that.
So they're not looking out for you.
The FTX case.
I thought that was huge. Let's see. There was another piece that I wanted to share with you guys just really quick before. Oh, they went after what's it called? They went after I'm getting distracted. Genesis today. So Genesis files for bankruptcy, and SEC comes in and swoops them. This was interesting. Somebody said, I'm pretty sure this is a high web bot hit.
Israeli newspaper. He said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives. Now, this former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now. And he said all this in an interview with an Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing to lose. Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces.
This is a little dated.
Well, we did ask the White House, the Department of Defense, and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded.
So I'll ask public about that tonight. Let's see. There was Finland calling for new EU laws to regulate DAOs. And where's the, so DCG is suspending dividend payments according to shareholders. I think this is going to be way bigger than any FTX thing, this digital currency group thing. And this is what Reggie kind of put us onto this. So keep your eyes out for that. Wait for more information about that. Let's see. The big announcement was that it was a big nothing burger. It was that, this was of something big, that Coinbase is halting operations in Japan. You have to remember that Reggie has his patent in Japan as well. So I wondered if that was the reason why. But Bislato, that's it. The U.S. Treasury and Justice Department have accused Hong Kong-based crypto Bislato. So like FTX, all this stuff's happening that's affecting retail people in the retail market, and they're going after Bislato. Like, of course, Russia. Let's always remember that. This is a great movie on Netflix that it shows how the SEC has been stifling innovation for years since after the World War II. Same story, just continues to kill the American dream. And it's very interesting. My husband picked up on the comparison with that and the what's the Howard Hughes, the same congressman, I believe, is involved in kind of being crooked and involved in this. Just look at the similarities in some of these stories and even what's going on still today. There was another thing that I posted that showed Jay Clayton as a board member in a payout of, where was that? Here it is. Jay Clayton is actually, this is very interesting. So in the FTX bankruptcy thing, Sullivan Cromwell lawyers have had unrestricted access to the internal data about the value of FTX assets and liabilities. Apollo Global has reportedly been quietly offering to buy up creditor claims from FTX customers for pennies on the dollar. So where's the conflict in that? Guess who the chairman of the board of Apollo Global is? None other than Sullivan Cromwell lawyer and former SEC chairman Jay Clayton. Also the guy who went after Reggie. That's actually the original. He was in charge of the SEC when all that started. So I'm not sure if the judge, they say they don't know if the judge presiding over the FTC bankruptcy case is aware of that information, but it's very disturbing. Like, it's a big club and we're not in it. This is so deep and corrupt. And when you hear about, wait, the SEC has, a hand in the BlockFi thing. And then you look at, Gary Gensler used to work for MIT as a professor. And then the professor's daughter is that girl that runs Alameda. I mean, it just never ends. The circles keep connecting all of them. Let's see. That was good information, just more information. Oh, something else my husband brought up was that, so if Zelle was the big issue about, back to the Bank of America, we'll kind of wrap it up. If Zelle was the big issue, supposedly, with the Bank of America outage and money missing from their accounts, well, Zelle is also used at Chase Bank. It's also connected to PayPal. So if this is just the beginning of, old what's his name's cyber plan, then we may all be seeing this at our banks here pretty quick. So if this is the cyber attack, this guy, everybody should, just like we tell you with cryptocurrency, not your keys, not your cheese. Make sure your assets are in your possession. And make sure you're looking out for your neighbors, your family, that you've got some water and some food, and that you're staying sane, that you're staying connected with God, the universe, whoever that is for you, and really listening to what's really going on and not what we're being programmed to believe that's going on. So I hope to be back later tonight with Public to talk a little woo-woo. Of course, we'll love to talk about Cliff High data. So I'll be trying to look for those data points around the space aliens coming in. And, of course, that's a great distraction for everyone when you're really losing your finances. But if they're cutting everybody's credit down first and people just live month to month anyway, then is there really much to lose? I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for joining me in the chat. I want to jump in and make sure I read really quick. Make sure I'm checking in with everybody. I really appreciate you all. I like that. JB, that's funny. Is there life? God asks. Yes, God created life. I believe there is. Big blanks, debt services. Yeah. I also believe this. Yeah, you guys are great. Yeah, please give us a like. I appreciate it. It helps with the whole algorithm thing. And I'm really banned a lot. In fact, Sean and I show gets like 200 views on my channel. And now he gets like 1,000 views, where before, like, you guys, our live chat is what was really bumped up his channel and the views over there. We weren't getting those kind of views before we started asking everybody to go over there and be so active in the live chat. And so I really appreciate it. You guys make the channel, and that means a lot to me. So I appreciate you guys. And just want to make sure I acknowledge everybody. Ooh, 3 more banks closed in Little Oak, Columbia, Missouri yesterday. Yep, Laura, everybody, that's what we can be the truth to each other and keep everybody up on what's really going on, you know. I think that's the smartest thing to do, to trust each other in all this. So yeah, I know it's boring, Jim, but you know, we got to hold them accountable, or see that they're not and choose something else. So I think that's cool. I'm glad to see public in watching. Hopefully we can get together, like I said, later tonight. And Trini, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you too. And Leader, I really appreciate you jumping in and watching again. You guys, make sure you're watching his channel. That's where we got that information that tipped us off. Once again, we're the community and we're sharing the truth with each other. We know we can trust our friends a lot more than this mainstream media. So, and Nana, thanks for having my back and making sure I could hear everything that was going on. Yeah. You guys are wonderful. So I hope to see everybody tonight on a little woo woo, and we'll pop in probably around 7 Eastern. I think I'll try to put out a post or put out a message early. Hey, thanks, John. Good to see you too. And Gary M. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Love to all, and thanks for joining me again. I'll see you guys later tonight. Take care.